blood, guts, gore. We are about to go on a journey as we follow along with our overpowered protagonist, as he makes his way through the trials of the Otherworld, in order to defeat the final boss, the Demon King himself. Alright, let's go. Our story begins with our boy walking past a mound of monster bodies that he just defeated, a single hand being used, as he drags a large blood-soaked hammer behind him, moving it along the ground as it leaves a single path of streaking blood stains. We then move on to a bridge, held up with broken chains, bodies beaten and battered, streaks of blood, severed limbs, and defeated monster bodies litter the way. Our boy, still dragging his hammer as he makes his way across the bridge, leaving a wake of dead and violently defeated monsters. We are approaching the end of the bridge, as we see a beast of a guy standing on a demonic emblem, underneath a large magic circle, radiating a bright yellow glow, looking like it is made of a fire-type energy. A close-up of the monster. We see that he is a ram-type beast. Large curling horns protrude from his head, equipped with a nose ring, as the ram dude is watching all of his buddies being dispatched with ease. He has his eyes on our boy, and he approaches the large open corridor that he is currently standing in. Fear? Is this the feeling of fear? This human. He's too much for me to handle. I have watched him kill many, like it is nothing for him. Am I, the ruler of terror, feeling fear towards another being? And in that moment, we see one of the last remaining minions, attempting a sneak attack, from behind our boy, the ram guy, silently wondering, who is this man? Yes, protect your ruler of terror. Destroy this man. Our main boy, however, is not new to this. The minion, floating midair, has a look of terror on his face, a flamed sword in his hand. Our boy, hammer still resting on his shoulder, seems as if he's ready to add another notch onto his monster kill count, standing tall like a Chad. And just like that, slight smirk on his face, our boy charges up his golden hammer with a bluish-white streak of energy, as he cocks back what looks to be a baseball swing attack that effortlessly strikes the minion right in the face, upon impact emitting a bright glow of white and blue hues, displaying his dominance. Just in case the ram dude is still wondering if he should be afraid, the answer is yes. Yes, he should be very afraid, because with that single swing our boy just decapitates the minion's head from his body, leaving behind specks of glowing ambers, black-looking brain matter, and gray ashy particles where the minion's head used to be. With his newfound confirmations, Ram Dude throws up both of his hands in front of him as he begins to say, What do you want, human? I will grant you everything you desire. Just then, we see the huge golden hammer flipping through the air. In a moment of shock and terror, Ram Dude, frozen in fear, can only watch as the hammer makes contact, bonking him in the chest. The hammer reflects off Ram Dude, flipping back into the hand of our main boy. With the self-assist, our boy is about to alley-oop, slam dunk his ass. But before that, a dazzling display of energy is emitted from the now glowing hammer. Lights of green and yellow energy as our boy clutches his hammer with both hands, effortlessly and skillfully leaping into the air, meters above the ram beast, brilliantly emitting a fully charged energy of the hammer. The ram dude then says, Why is the hammer suddenly getting bigger? With the full force of his might, our boy brings the hammer down with an explosion of energy, blood squirting and splattering everywhere. The hammer, making contact with Ram Dude's head, leaving his eyes protruding from his head. It looks as though they could pop out of his eye sockets with such a destructive force on display. Damn, dude, you just got knocked the fuck out. We move on, with a quick explanation of the Otherworld. The 5 calamities. An unavoidable tragedy from the ancient times repeats itself. The time to end the first disaster has come. Demon King Hazernius Max. Even if the whole world turned against me, it doesn't matter. Today, the Demon King dies by my hand. This is it, boys. Our guy, standing in front of the main boss, the Demon King himself. Streaks of white lighting flashing across the screen. Rocks floating with a weightless gravity. Our boy, briefly taken aback, says, What the hell? What is going on here? It's like I can't sense him at all. Why don't I feel the power of the Demon King? Kuhahahaha. I am the owner of the 8 Garaz. You cannot kill me. Demon King, have you chosen to abandon your physical form and become ethereal? Well, if I had a physical body, it would have been difficult for me to escape the same fate as my subordinates. But what if I were in a state of intangibility, where physical attacks do not work? God damn it. Our boy has killed so many beasts, monsters, and demons on the way. He finally makes it to the final boss level and gets ghosted by the Demon King. Shitty luck, man. Just then it's shown that the Demon King's body has phased to show an ethereal form floating in front of his physical form. He goes on to say, "Just as you may not be able to destroy me, I may not be able to destroy you, but I can still shatter the world you stand upon. No matter how much you despise humanity, what can you gain in a world left with only monsters? In the end, you will achieve nothing." Damn it. He freaking got me. Demon King. I have zero magical abilities. I have trained as an unstoppable warrior. Yet he is not an opponent I can easily eradicate with meager magic abilities. Being at the pinnacle only in the warrior class, I lack the ability to kill the current Demon King Wraith. The magic power I despised so much is the power that I need right now. The look on the bitch boy Demon King's face is enough for me to want to throw my controller at my gigantic flat screen TV. Before that happens, let's move on. Our boy standing at a distance looking on as beams of light hit the top of some buildings. The summoning palace should start summoning the offerings soon. Our main man says the ingredients were lackluster, but I probably won't even be able to eat stuff like this for a while. After I got discharged, I was working my ass off and then got summoned here at around 1996. So has it really been around 25 years now? I've lived in this world for so long. This place feels like my hometown now. They'll probably come after me if I stay in this form. Those sorcerers are so freaking annoying, I guess I have no choice. With that bright light blue light with purple hues swirls around our boy's entire body, and a system screen appears stating that you are activating a Deceiver's Curtain. It's a special skill which grants our boy with concealment. Our boy's face is now smooth and polished, leaving behind his old battle-weathered face. His hair black, looking like someone in his early 20s. He says, "All right, now let's get started. It's time to learn some magic, so I can face little bitch boy Demon King. But I'll have to start from the beginning from the Summoning Palace." In the underground waterway of the Summoning Palace, we see a wolf man wearing spiked armor and chains wrapped around his forearms, spear leaning against his shoulder. Our boy steps on the scene like a badass should and says, "Hey you, asshole," waking up the spiky wolf dude. Wolf dude is now up, spear in hand, as he yells out, "Who the hell are you?" Within an instant, our boy, hands clenched in a fist, is ready to pounce onto the spiky wolf dude. Our boy ain't no bitch. With no weapon in hand, he throws an uppercut right to wolf dude's jaw, leaving him with blood spraying like a fountain from his mouth. Damn, you got knocked out cold, my boy. Our boy stands tall, fists still raised in the air, and says, "Good doggy." Doggy boy is then shown strung up by the neck with a flag that says, "Fuck this shitty ass world," written in what I presume is doggy boy's own blood. Yet again, another demon beast that was supposed to be guarding the underwater way was deleted without being able to make a single attack. Our main guy shown snapping a perfectly good spear. Like, get this garbage out of here. If any of you were still wondering how strong dude is, he bent the steel bars with his bare hands. Passes on through like it's nothing after one punching doggy boy. Damn. It's hard to breathe. The stench of blood is suffocating. As expected of the Summoning Palace. I didn't want to come back here after barely making it out alive. But this is the only way to stealthily obtain a classification of magic without being noticed too much. I have to blend in with the other summoners being called to this world and obtain a quest. Only then can I select magic as my subclass. I will start off as a level 1 though. In the Summoning Palace, the colorful energy continues to flow. And we see our first homunculus. Ugly as hell, isn't he? The ugly dude says after letting out a grotesque snicker. I wonder what kind of trash humans will show up today. I can't wait, I'm so excited. These trash-ass sorcerers. Hurry up and hand over the trash humans. Okay guys, this ugly-ass dude is really pounding in that everyone else is trash, and he runs things here. He continues, I wonder how I should kill the disgusting humans newbies. Until our main boy reveals why he broke Doggy Boy's spear. Of course, he ties the spearhead to a rope to create a harpoon-looking weapon. The harpoon strikes Ugly Boy's guts from the back and exits the front with a violent splash of red wine. As he's getting pulled back, it occurs to me that it was not his guts that was penetrated with the harpoon, but Ugly Boy's booty hole. Ouch. But at least someone is getting some action in this story. Our main boy is now a fisherman, spear fisher, mission accomplished. He grabs Ugly Boy's legs, while Ugly Boy says you crazy human bastard. I guess being penetrated from behind in the booty hole is light work for this dude cause he's still trying to insult our main boy while dangling from his legs. Our main boy says hand over the quest log. The quest logs, are you crazy? I'll tear your limbs off. This dude is asking for it. And just like that, our main boy, with his bare hands rips Ugly Dude's leg right off. Holy shit, that's gotta tickle. It's your choice, I'll just find another homunculus to ask then. Okay, I'll give it to you. Here it is, human. I was gonna say, you just had your booty hole and manhood penetrated by a harpoon, and your leg ripped off. Just give him the damn quest logs, and stop talking shit. The system screen shows up and states that you are holding the quest for Summoning Plaza. Will you carry out this quest? Our guy stands looking at the system screen, reading over the quest log for Rank Commoner. On the screen, we can see 3 quests: a romanticist, a social person, and finally an observant individual. Our boy then says raising my intuition is a priority. I even have a curse on me. Quest number 3, an observant individual. Condition: during a quest within the Summoning Palace, read the words on the main gate out loud. Reward: +1 intuitive power. The Ugly Boy, still hanging upside down, asks him, human, are you going to let me live? This hurts a lot, you know. Our boy says, oh sure, as he throws the ugly piece of shit into the wall. Blood splatters onto the wall, and as the body slides to the ground, it leaves a blood-stained trail. He is of low rank. There's no listing for hidden quests. Well, whatever, this should suffice. The offerings should be summoned soon. Let's wait and see. As our boy steps into the corridor, there's a crowd of people talking amongst themselves. Random mumblings like, hey, is there Wi-Fi here? Or another calling out for their mother, completely oblivious as to where they're at or what's going on. Bad news, guys, the ugly dudes are multiplying. There is now a bunch of them walking around as one lets out a chuckle saying, welcome, Humas, to your grand judgment day. Pay attention if you don't want to die. The crowd of newly summoned people asks, are we on a movie set? What's that? Am I dreaming? I know they're ugly as hell, and I have a feeling shit's about to get real quick. Meanwhile, our boy has arrived and says, nice. I've hidden amongst the crowd. The quest needs to be activated. Right on cue, the system window pops up and states the Summoning Plaza quest has been started. Our boy is ready to go and says, all right. Now everyone should be accepting the quest. One of the homunculus in charge lets out a nasty giggle and says, how many should I kill? I'm getting all fired up. A random side character is talking to the ugly fellas and says, hey, what the hell are you doing over there, Pipsqueak? Bring your boss over here now. The ugly little shit says, human, what did you just say? In an instant, 2 of the little guys pounce onto the loudmouth extra to teach him a lesson. The side dude manages to stutter out, I can't move a muscle. Now a third ugly little shit leaps into the air at the big-mouthed loser as he screams like the little bitch he is. The rest of the crowd are standing there in horror as the ugly dude says, now pay attention, humans. Cocky humans. Big Mouth standing there with both of the ugly's hands in his mouth, bleeding like a goofy little bitch. The ugly boy warns that all will end up like this, so don't get cocky. A shadow shown on the ground where Big Mouth's head is being torn off at the mouth, blood and brain matter gushing out. Our boy, facing the opposite direction, gives a slight side glance at the commotion behind him like a badass and says the homunculus bastards are getting excited. A person in the crowd screams, he just killed a person. A loud, thunderous sound shakes the room. Onlookers ask, huh? What? What's going on? Did you just hear that? I think the noise came from behind that iron gate. It begins, a system window pops up for everyone present. Warning, you may die. Our chat of a man says, who? Me? As it's shown that the babyface version and the ultra Chad version stand tall, ready for whatever may come. Strange world. I once met someone who had returned from this world. They told me, this world only recognizes and accepts the few people who manage to survive through various deathly trials and tribulations. Look at the confidence and determination on our boy's face. He's clearly ready to go. The system screen displays the Sword of Beginnings. Clearly this is the default starter sword given to players at the beginning of the game. Wield this and fight. To die or not to die, the sword begins to equip. A background character is heard saying, what? Do they want us to fight? Take a look at the fat boy. Fat boy says, you trashy humans. Make your decision now. The look of the crowd. Sweat dripping from their face. Everyone looking doomed. Fat boy continues and says, fight or flee. or get eaten, letting out a maniacal laugh. The summons, each holding their beginner sword, stand, wide-eyed, contemplating what they will do next. Just then, the large iron door opens up, stirring dust. Strange noise and clicking sounds can be heard. A silhouette can be seen, a strange shape, many legs with hues of red. This thing is huge. Large beady eyes, arms that look like blades of death. A side character says, "A mantis? Is that a freaking mantis?" Another guy decided that he wanted to become cannon fodder. He says, "Fuck, I was scared shitless. But this is it. An insect?" The mantis towering over this dude by at least a two-fold. Well, we already know. Once someone says something stupid, shit is about to get real. Just then it's shown that a whole pack of mantis are flying from the fully opened iron gate. Heads are flying, people getting maimed, body parts being slashed, blood covering the ground. Chaos ensues. Some are desperately swinging their swords, asking for help, saying there's way too many of them. It's not looking good for our newly summoned crowd. Some people chose to drop their sword and just run, stepping over bodies and slipping on blood. The mantis were relentless. Is this a dream? People can be heard screaming in terror. And in that moment, some lady runs over to our boy and wraps her arms around him, begging for help. Right on cue, our boy, sword in hand, has become the attention of a couple of mantis. Light work. Come on. The mantis are swiftly sliced into pieces, while his new wifey stayed wrapped around his waist. That is definitely main character energy right there. Our guy just looks at his sword, thinking, I've been using a hammer for a while, but I see his sword isn't so bad either. If I don't want to stand out, I need to hold back a bit more though. Look at wifey's eyes. She is clearly impressed, probably thinking she wants to dual cultivate. Like, right now? Relax, wifey. People are still getting slaughtered all over the summoning palace. We then see a guy wearing a doctor's robe. Doc says, "You shitty fucking insect. Do you know who I am?" Manga logic states, after losing a body part, it is best to keep your street rep in check. Just then, some dude yells out, "Hey boomer, stop trying to act all important." He is then seen leaping into the air with his beginner sword ready to strike that mantis dead. A close-up shows this Chad, blood spraying and splattering in every direction. And he says, "This is my 35th. No, 45th insect kill. Impressive. Mohawk dude is a savage." He says, "You're getting in my way, so fuck off. Or whatever. Stay and die if you want." Our main dude shoots a side glance at Mohawk dude, sword inserted in some demon's body, and says, "Wow, he's doing a handful," ripping out his beginner sword, blood spraying from the mantis, letting out a screeching sound. Someone in the crowd then yells out, "Stick together to stay alive. If we split up, we'll die." Just then the guy right by him lets out a scream. Glasses guy stops yapping to look and see what's going on. The white-haired dude, getting striked, is sent flying through the air, yelling, "I don't want to die." Glasses then yells out, ordering people to move over there. "Put your backs to the wall." I don't know who put Glasses in charge, but I have a feeling, every time he talks, someone will die. Glasses then yells out, "Let's form a defensive." He is then interrupted by his own stupidity, as he looks back at who he was just trying to talk to, and sees that they are all dead, completely standing still, concerned look on his face. Glasses then says, "Shit, I thought this strategy would work out. Idiot. But he's funny. I kinda like him." Mr. Chad himself, standing tall, as a mantis creeps up from behind, getting ready to strike, thinks to himself, as expected of an office worker. He then says, "An inexperienced and naive plan like that would never work in this world," while managing a no-look slice, decapitating a mantis with one strike. We then move on to some kid wearing a bucket hat, a red jersey, has a wallet chain, and some fresh dunks. He is currently facing a mantis just meters away. But something happens. It seems that the mantis is non-aggressive towards this dude. Maybe it's because they are both decked out in matching fits. Our boy watched as the mantis just turned around and walked away. The bucket hat dude sighs in relief. Our main man asks, "Is he the chosen one?" as he takes a glimpse of the balcony with the silhouette of two people standing, alone in their own private box seats. Our boy says, "Those disgusting bastards. They never change." Apparently our boy doesn't see what I see, which is wifey number 2. Fatty Patty then interrupts our view and says, Now, Trashy humans. More. More. Enjoy this more. The summoned side characters start pleading for help, saying they don't want to die, begging, please, as they are now surrounded by dead bodies. Fatboy then says, if you want to live, run to that door, as fast as you can. We can see one of the little minions waving a big, red flag. The summoned Muppets don't hesitate. They immediately begin to run. They even manage to stampede over fallen people. One is heard saying, I see a flag over there. We can live if we exit through that door. Another one yells, move. Get out of my way. After looking up towards the front of the crowd, Glasses sees a person facing the opposite direction. As we take a closer look, we see a woman getting ripped apart, yelling, don't come over here. Glasses, after witnessing this all happen, yells out for everyone to hear, there's something over there. We then see that there are some nasty-looking creatures, eyes glowing red, as the woman is being thrown into the air and swallowed whole. These freaks look like aliens. Long spiky teeth ready to rip apart whatever. One has the head of a bald man in its mouth. Immediately, the freaks begin to rush the cannon fodder. The crowd is seen yelling and screaming in horror as they quickly try to run away. There are currently two groups in the crowd. One that is running towards the red flag. The other is currently trying to get away from the alien freaks. They run directly into each other. One person yells, there are monsters over there. Another says you'll die if you turn back. Go through. Go ahead if you're so eager to die. I'll kill you myself. We then cut to someone holding a scalpel to someone's neck. He says, move as I tell you to if you don't want to die. It's the doctor, guys. I guess he didn't die yet. The lady says, why are you doing this, doctor? Doc tells the bitch to shut up. Do you know how much money I spent trying to become the head doctor? I have to live. I'm different from people like you. You have no worth. Our Chad comes over and says, let us introduce ourselves. I am Kim Song-chail. In a moment of shock or fear, Document lets the old lady go and says, what? What the fuck? Our man Kim Song-chail says, it's your turn. Introduce yourself. Doc replies, what? Are you trying to pick a fight? Our boy Kim has yet to swing a second time to kill anything yet. Not a good idea. Kim says, okay, here is your reward for becoming head doctor. With a flick of his hand, boom, a head of a mantis falls into Doc's hands, still screaming. Then the system window shows up for our boy, letting him know that he has completed a quest. A social person, with a reward of a black hawk's toenail. Speed and stealth like no other. After the Doc yells, fucking hell, our boy Kim turns around and says, I'm busy, so see ya. As he walks away, what a Chad. Doc says this is a fucking dream. This is just a plain fucking nightmare. I guess Doc didn't see the mantis tower over him. He takes a peek after hearing something, and I think that Doc is finally dead this time. Our boy Kim is seen walking over a mound of dead bodies, throwing bodies left and right, looking for something. He clears the floor and reads, let death be your freedom. Just then, a system window pops up. An attention seeker quest has been completed. Reward, +1 intuitive power. You possess a sharp sense of observation. Kim Song-chail says, wow, what a way to raise my intuition. Nice. Open status window. Using magic utilizes your mana reserve to create destructive power. Our boy Kim has 999 plus strength, 801 agility, free magic, -9 intuition, and just received a +1 to intuition. So he's pretty overpowered, but needs to work on his magic and intuition, because a good sense of intuition is required to understand how to use magic. He goes on to say, my intuition is -9. There's no way I'll be able to get magic as my subclass. No wonder our boy Kim was so good at big bonks using his big hammer. Apparently, he was a typical strength build with no intelligence. If he wants to achieve a class in magic, he will need at least a 10 in intuition. Damn, Kim isn't looking so good after processing that he will have to come up with 19 more intuition before he can pew as a mage in the future. After looking up at the double moons, Kim's system window pops up. A romanticist quest has been completed. Reward, +1 palace token. A romanticist who manages to shine during times of danger. If you haven't been paying attention, Kim has now finished all 3 active quests. Nice. I've now gotten myself a palace token, says Kim Song-chail. If I gather too much, I may draw too much attention to myself. Maybe gathering around 10 tokens should be enough. We are finally given a glimpse into some information of this world. Blue, yellow, white. Humans from each classification were summoned here, totaling about 2,500 people. Out of those, only around 100 will survive. I don't care what methods I have to use. I'll make sure I obtain a class of magic. I won't think about anything else. Wait for me, Demon King. At the end of the corridor, light shines through, and we see the little minion waving his big red flag. The ugly fella says, "It's almost over. Keep doing your best." Our boy Kim stands tall. The system window pops up and states, "The quest has finished." Using commoner ranked quests, I'll probably only be able to raise my intuition by +10. I'll have to find some hidden quest to do. Why is someone laughing? Hello. Nice to meet you. Hee hee. Our boy Kim is wondering who is so carefree in this situation. A group of some of the survivors are huddled together, having a conversation amongst themselves. I was almost mauled to death. I thought I was really going to die, ha ha ha. For me, it was some crazy bastard holding a scalpel. Kim, thinking to himself, says, "As I thought, they were the watchman's eyes." It can be seen that there is a brain-looking object connected to each one of these characters, just hovering over their heads, with some synapses making a connection to the host's head. This puts a big smile on our boy's face, as he says, "Found you. My hidden quests. Isn't this just like hell? My arm. The blood won't stop. Someone call a doctor. I can't see. Save me. Don't die. Come to your senses. Please let us out of here." The wounds on the people, the chaotic atmosphere, the brutality of it all. One thing is for sure. We are no longer on Earth. This is the other world. Glasses Dude asks, "Are you okay?" People are doing the best that they can to help out in a hopeless situation. Glasses Dude sure knows how to pick him. The lady is in shock. She says, "Everyone is dead. Hee hee, hee hee. The fresh blood. Hee 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 hee. This dream is way too realistic." I guess she wasn't feeling our Glasses Dude. She gets up and starts running away, yelling, "Die! Everyone die! Hee 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 ha ha." Glasses overhears a guy yelling, "I'm over this. Do you really think I will die? Is this the best you can do? Huh. Bring in a stronger one." Key. The fat boy lets out a laugh. Why are there still so many of them? The population hasn't even been decreased to half. I'm extremely disappointed. But I'm a merciful homunculus. I'll let you rest for a week. In the meantime, get used to this new world. Our boy Kim knows better. This week is not being merciful. There are no food rations or water here. The only way to survive is to get out of this place. And if you can't do that, then you only have one way. Eat people. Come to think of it, where are those people that I saw before? There. Those people over there. It's the chosen. They're on their way to somewhere. Watchman's eyes. A device to pick out people that have potential or connections. If I follow them, then there's a high chance that I will find a hidden quest. It seems that every scene is going to have a dark and gloomy atmosphere. No sunshine over here, boys. One guy in the group says, "What kind of nonsense is this?" Another says, "Will something jump out again?" Right, haha. It just sounds like a wolf, you know. Our boy Kim says, "It is a wolf. It is 3 times bigger than the people of Earth too." Come to think of it, there is more than 20 people. Did they get shelter from a large guild or something? 25 people. Seems like everyone is gathered. One guy says, I'm sorry for suddenly taking the lead. Hello, I am Lee Hoon. Everyone can hear the guide's voice, right? Huh, yeah, it speaks to me sometimes. Another one says, "Me too." Our boy Kim, casually leaning on a tree, says, "It looks like someone stuck their eyes on a low-level brain. How crude. The magician that did this must be a low rank at most." The self-assigned lead says, "I'm glad everyone is okay. Now that the hardship is all over. I hope to meet you all again." Both the new lead and our boy Kim shoot a glance at each other. Key. Fat boy says, "You are all gathered here. Humans." Someone in the crowd looks over and says, "That's the leader from before." Another quickly asks, Is this a trap?" Fat boy goes on to say, "Don't be too scared. I am a disciplined captain homunculus. Even if I tear apart and kill trashy humans, I will also reward chosen humans as well." Kim Song-cheol, thinking to himself, says, "Discipline captain? Nominee, discipline captain. Low-ranked. Magician. Higher up. Is this the organization structure?" The discipline captain then says, Follow me, you excellent humans. If you fall behind, you might die. Key, hoo. Dapper glasses guy says. I think we should follow him. That is what the voice tells us to do. The group begin to follow the captain through the dark, foggy forest. One guy can be heard saying, "Fuck, who does he think he is?" We then cut to beady, glowing red eyes, lurking in some bushes, trying to stay low as to not be seen. It looks like they have the sights on our group of excellent humans. Just then Captain Fatty says, "Now, we have arrived, humans." The forest clears away, showing the bright moons over the abandoned God of Order Cathedral. As the group reaches the front of the cathedral, someone says, That eye, it looks like it's moving." Another says, Me too, I see it." Captain Fatty Cake says, "Stop spouting nonsense." Another one in the crowd says, "Looking at that eye makes me feel sick." Another guy says, What is that?" Kim's internal thoughts can be heard explaining that the hexahedron is the emblem of the God of Order Cathedral. The summoning palace maintains full neutrality in the name of the God of Order. But how are you committing corruption in the Cathedral of the God of Order? Captain Fatty stops and stands to the front. Now, stop squirming around and hurry up. Get seated in front of the altar of the God of Order. In a commanding voice, someone in the group says, God of Order? That is a god. Another says, What the heck did we come here for? Someone then says, That eye gives me goosebumps. Just then the Rubik's Cube starts to shake, opening up to reveal what looks like dark brain matter, along with numerous eyeballs. When Kim said before that they stuck their eyes on them, he wasn't kidding. Apparently, they have eyes for days. Just then we see bright lights, almost like lasers scanning the crowd. Someone then says, What the hell is this now? Another exclaims, Fuck, tell us in advance at least. Captain Fatty then says, Humans, you don't have to be afraid. This is just a simple verification step. Is our boy going to be okay? As the lasers are scanning his body now, apparently the Chosen have a different heat temperature reading. It looks like the thermo skin has caught our boy. The eyeballs are not happy. The glow starts to turn red. Every eyeball furiously scanning our boy Kim. Just then the system screen pops in to save the day. Kim activates the Veil of Deception, a special skill that allows the user a status of distortion from whatever target our boy chooses. In this case, he chose the Watchman's eyes. Oh man, it looks as though I was worried for nothing. Let's hope no one noticed the intense glare of the eyes shooting out red laser beams. It looks like the eyeballs go back to being normal. It also looks like at least one of the Chosen notices as well, as he gives our boy a side glance. Yeah, he looks like a snitch too. A system window pops up as the bigger eye glows brightly in the cathedral. It says, Those who serve the good and right shall have the will of the God of Order. This awards +10 to strength, agility, and stamina. It sets a restriction, however, only in the area of the summoning palace. Well, having a free buff is always good. Everyone present now has a light blue and white glow to them. It seems as though our boy Kim has also received this buff. He goes on to say to himself, Who would have known that a nominee would receive such a benefit from the start? As I thought, this strange world is rotten from the start. Bro, you have all of those stats in the 8 and 900s. Captain Fatty then orders everyone to throw away all of those trashy weapons that you have and pick up your new weapons. These new weapons are 10 times better. With the new buff, and now the new weapons, the crowd begins to exclaim. They look just like the old swords. However, they're so much lighter. Another says, Come get some. You monsters are screwed now. Mwahaha. Captain Fatty then says, You all are chosen humans. So I, the fat disciplined captain, under my sincere guidance, will be able to get over the test and come back to the summoning palace. The cattle are still admiring their brand new +10 shiny swords. Smiles can be seen on their faces. Just then a minion is running into the cathedral. He then says, I found more of the chosen humans, and I bring them here for you, Captain. The captain disciplined says, How can this be? Without a doubt. There are 25 of you here. What are you, human? The new guy says, Hey now, don't be so stern. I haven't introduced myself yet. Hello, everybody. Sorry for being late. I'm Park Aram. I came late because I was pooping. A reasonable excuse, I would say. Captain Fatty was not amused. He says, No, this won't do, poopy pants. The God of Order has already given his blessings. And the distribution of the weapons just ended right now. The little minion then says, "But Captain, the leader of the Iron Blood Knightage personally picked that human." Captain Fatty Patty says, Iron Blood Knightage. We see that he is one of the two standing in watch from before in their private box seats. Looks like this guy has the special golden ticket." New guy then says, "You heard that right. End of introductions." Key. Fatty Patty says, "This isn't the first time summoning a human to this world, but how dare you fool the disciplined captain? All right, I'll commend you. As a reply, I'll rip you into shreds and kill you." Everyone is just standing there like he didn't just say that he'll rip Poopy Pants into shreds. Our boy Kim just says, "Iron Blood Knightage." As I thought. Suddenly some dude steps behind trying to talk to our boy and asks, "Hey you, aren't you the rat that snuck into this place with us? Isn't that you?" Kim Song Chail just looks back unbothered, thinking, who is this guy? Who is this bastard? Captain Fatty, furious, yells out, "There is a human that tricked me amongst you all. Hey buddy, it's you. Isn't that you?" Our boy Kim is like, "Oh, this bastard. Snitches get stitches." Apparently this dude is a bigger bitch than I thought. As he says, "How scary. Why are you staring like that? If I'm wrong then whatever. But judging by the state of your clothes, it's filled with so many traces of fighting someone." Kim Song Chail looks back with a menacing look. Eyes dark, coat drenched in blood. Snitch dude says, "Do we really have to try that hard to fight?" Our boy Kim just says, "Oh, isn't that an acute critic?" I don't really know what that means, but apparently it was enough to make this guy back off for a bit as he says, I'm in charge of giving good opinions." We then cut to the new lead guy who says, "How about we introduce ourselves?" Apparently only our boy can see the floating brains above the chosen people. Lead dude says, "I'm Leonese. Man, these artists really know how to draw people in a way to really make you hate them instantly." Kim thinking to himself, as I thought, he's quite clever. I don't like that. Poopy Pants says, "I'm Dolorance Winterlur." Another guy says, "I'm Off Nidell." One says, I'm Gundamp. "I'm Harry Motor." "I'm Tumbletoe," says another. These names are really putting my AI to work. Old fart. How about running now? You can't die in vain. Am I right? Is that so? Then can I stand in front of you? The snitch then says, "Wow, you're handling it head on. What a man." Our boy says, "Let us see who dies in vain. I need to see what I can get from this summoning slot." The system window pops up. It states, "Using the claws of the secret guardian knight. Black Hawk claws." A blue glow flashes and swirls through the air. Kim says, "The watchman's eyes are mine now," as the claw flies behind him from the system screen. The Black Hawk claw then latches onto the floating watchman's eye of our snitch friend. The claw is snatched away, being pulled back to the palm of our boy's hand. Our boy Kim catches the squishy brain mid-flight with his bare hands. This scene, it looks weird. It looks wrong. What the heck happened? Kim thinking to himself, what is this? Isn't it wrong for me to be holding this in my hand? No matter how lousy this is, how can I get it this easily? Kim, with the watchman's eye in his hands, asks the brain, "What is your name?" The voice from the brain says, "Not sure. Did I forget?" Kim then puts on a little pressure, giving it a firm squeeze. The brain says, exaggerated. Earlier. I'm Krill legal. But, what the heck happened? I'm feeling dizzy." Our boy tosses the brain over his shoulder like a piece of trash, and then thinks, "Krill legal." The watchman's eye smashes into a wall hard. Then Captain Fatty asks, "Where is the magician in charge?" Kim says the magician in charge. Krill legal. Snitch dude looks furious. Eyes bloodshot. Beads of sweat running down his face. He then says, What did you just do?" Captain Fatty and his minion buddy, now standing in front of Snitch dude, repeats himself and says, "Where is the magician in charge? It's not looking too good for our snitch friend." He says, "That bastard just stole and said mine. You worthless idiots. I'm saying that bastard is the fake one." It cuts to the minion saying, "I found you," as he leaps into the air towards the imposter's face, slamming him down to the ground, beating the living crap out of him, blood splashing into the air. Kim Song Chail just standing in the background, silently looking at the show of violence, with a pleased look on his face. Snitches get stitches. Captain Fatty says, "It'll be troublesome to kill you too soon. I'll show you what will happen to you when you fool your discipline captain. Coo. As Snitch Boy gets dragged away, he says, You bastard. How did you? Our main boy just throws up his hands and says, Plot armor, bitch. Hey guys, look, I was wrong again. We then see that it is a new day. Fluffy clouds in the sky. Sun shining through. No longer dark and gloomy night. People are in the courtyard practicing their fighting skills against wooden training dummies. If we stay, we'll still die from starvation. So why are we sword training, some says. Do they have a death wish? Says another. TSK, I'm hungry as hell. Our boy, standing in front of a practice dummy, says. Other people die without even moving. Yet the blessed nominees are getting stronger every day. With his eyes moving from left to right. All our boy Kim can see is that he's surrounded by these idiot weaklings. He says, Good. I'm gonna hold back my strength as much as I can. Lightly, he begins to swing his sword with lines of swooshing white streaks. He effortlessly and masterfully hits the training dummy with a 5-piece combo, hitting all over the torso, arms, and head in an instant. He then steps back and we can see the training dummy intact and in one piece, but smoke and dust blowing away from the surface. Great. That's perfect. Turning around, he goes on to say, If I control my strength like this. A sound like a bag of sand being thrown on the floor can be heard. We see the training dummy implodes into a million pieces, leaving our boy Kim shook. Some people training in the courtyard quickly look over to see what happened, asking what the hell was that? Yo, our boy just dips, getting the hell out of there before anyone can start asking questions. Someone is heard yelling, Do it properly. Hold it upright. It was the Mohawk dude. He says, I don't take in weak bastards. His name is Chi On Jong Sik, the summoner of the White Square. Mohawk dude is sitting on some crates, sword in hand, 2 goons at either side. He says, I only take the winners of this fight as my men. If you want to survive here, then do whatever it takes to kill your opponents. A scene of 2 opposing groups, ready to brawl in a death match, is shown. Our boy Kim thinking to himself, kill each other to survive. In other words, survival of the fittest. As Kim is leaning on the wall, he notices Mr. Poopy Pants. He then says, Park Air Ram. Mr. Poopy Pants said that he was the nominee from the Iron Blood Knightage. Mr. Golden Ticket Boy himself. Should I keep an eye on him as well? We then cut to a scene where people are sheltering themselves from the sun in the shade. One says, Oh, I'm so frickin' hungry. Should we go out of the rampart? Another dude says, Are you crazy? This is the outer world. You never know when something is gonna pop out and fuck you up. If you want to survive, then you will sit your ass there and eat the breadcrumbs that you were given. Well, that's a relief. At least they don't have to eat people yet. Just then a commotion is heard in the courtyard. It looks as though people are fighting over the scraps given. One can be heard saying, Let go. It's mine. I'll eat it first. The fighting gets pretty intense, as a guy throws an elbow right into Mommy's boobies. He says, Get away, ho. Mommy's on her knees, begging, Please, share a little bit with me. And, whose glasses are these? As he cleans off his glasses, he says, Since being summoned here, it seems that the Iron Blood Knightage is my father. I receive favors without responsibilities. That's right, you guessed it. It's Mr. Poopy Pants. Poopy Pants sets his eyes on Mommy Friend. He then says, I might as well put that favor to good use. After he is done cleaning his glasses, he reaches over and puts them on Little Mama. He then says, What's up, Little Mama? You want to come walk with me, go grab a bite to eat together? Little Mama was like, Okay, Daddy. The look on Mr. Poopy Pants' face is alluding to something super nasty. Our boy just stands there doing nothing. When a dude that poops his pants just took his bitch. Gotta give it to Mr. Park. He's a certified pimp, y'all. As the sun begins to set, we see the glows of pinks and oranges in front of a silhouette of the trees. Our boy is making his way through the woods. Kim stumbles onto Little Mama's shoes, pants showing splatters of blood, belly ripped open, blood-soaked shirt next to her on the ground. Bread smashed into her mouth like a gag, still wearing Mr. Park's glasses. I guess he didn't need them. Our boy Kim, standing over Little Mama's blood-soaked body, says, Poopy Pants took his jokes way too far. This is too much. She could have been wifey number 2. Damn you, Park Air Ram. This is messed up. Look at our boy's face. Mr. Poopy Pants doesn't know it yet, but he fucked up. Kim says to himself, The name of the person in charge was Dolorance Winterler. I need to create an event to lure her out. I need to set up a chance encounter with that woman. Just then Kim can feel a menacing, killing intent coming from behind him. He turns around to see a little puddle of red ooze. I don't know what this is, but we'll call it a blood slime monster. A group of people are resting in the forest. Some sitting on knocked-over logs, grabbing a bite to eat. One person says, "Phew, I really want a home-cooked meal." Mr. Slayer Girl says, "I want to eat stir-fried pork." The guy says, "Just keep talking. Most people that survived can't even eat what we're eating." The I had to poop guy is looking really annoyed like he might kill this dude just for talking back. Just then self-appointed leader comes over to give his 2 cents. It's true that most people who have survived can't even eat this. But today I'm craving pork belly. God, I'm glad there's somebody here that I can relate to. I was about to be disappointed for a moment there. We then overhear someone saying, "Have any of you seen Kim Song-cheol today?" Just then we cut to our boy, Curb, stomping the red blood slime. It's getting pretty hot. He seems to be looking over at a whole bunch of the little red blood slimes. Blood pudding. This is the first time seeing such a large gathering of the different breeds, all in one location. They must be attracted to the smell of blood. In that moment, we see our boy standing, face blacked out, with a massive blood slime on the attack, jumping midair at our guy. Well, what do we have here? Our guy, menacing look on his face, throws the good ol' one-punch man, and vaporizes the huge blood slime in an instant. I guess the Slime King doesn't have anything on our boy's power. Blood clots are flying through the air. He's just standing there by himself in the forest and says, "Come at me all at once." Apparently that was enough to provoke the herd of blood slimes, because they did exactly that. Our boy seems to be having fun, crushing red blood slimes after each and every swing that he throws, with an accomplished look on his face. Our boy Kim seems to have been on a mission. Just then, someone, looking over his shoulder, seems to have noticed something. Some guys sitting on a cliff overlooking a swarm of blood slimes causing a ruckus due to our boy Kim's plot to get these things sent into a frenzy. The guy with his arms crossed says, "What? What is that?" The other one says, "They seem to be going somewhere." Someone is poking one of the blood slimes with a stick, saying, "Don't worry, these things are stupid." Well, just then, the blood slime jumps mid-air in order to attack the guy with the poking stick. It looks as though the blood slime is highly acidic. We see that the red blood slime has attached itself to stick dude's arm, smoke fuming off his melting flesh. He screams for help. "My arm. Help me get rid of it." Another guy can be seen trying to help his buddy as he swings his sword at the blood slime. Surprisingly agile, the blood slime dodges the swing by leaping into the air again. Well, it looks as though the slime jumps over onto the face of the one trying to save his buddy, and he is now the one that is in need of some help. The lead guy has to step in, and he tries to take control by saying, "Everyone avoid the red slimes. We are not as overpowered as Mr. Chad protagonist." He then yells out, "They'll catch the scent of blood and rush over here, so hurry up and try to get away from those things." Stick dude's arm is looking pretty messed up, but the other guy's face is completely melted down to the bone. Kim is walking out of the forest and says, "Get up if you don't want to die to some dude just chilling. Leaning on some rocks like this is the time to relax. Man, this guy is just asking for death. Completely clueless. Just look at him." Meanwhile, others are running for their lives, trying to do anything to get away from the blood slime frenzy. Would you look at that? Rock dude finally realizes that people are getting fucked up. Right, dude? Putting your arm out like that is going to do something. Still clueless. Somebody is trying to keep everybody alert. You can hear them saying, "Let's get the hell out of here. Come on, guys. Let's all move together. We have to retreat." Well, it looks like Mr. Park has decided to get up. He says, "Look at them running away." He continues on saying, "Damn, man. These nominees are so pathetic." Our boy Kim, eye glowing red, head covered by the shadow, is looking at Mr. Park with murderous intent. Just then, Kim, Sparta kicks the shit out of the dirt bag. He is coughing up blood, not knowing what the hell just hit him. Goddamn. It looks like Mr. Park might have broken the sound barrier as he flies into the side of a cliff. Is it even possible for someone to survive this? Guess he shouldn't have stole Kim's girl. Oh, he's just laughing it off. So he's alive, I guess. Mr. Park, after coughing up blood, says, "Who are you? Come on out, you bastard. You asked for it." Kim is seen dashing through the smoke and dust that kicked up into the air from Mr. Park's impact into the cliff, creating his own swirling vortex of dust. As our boy Kim arrives, he gives Dirtbag an uppercut to the bottom of his jaw. On impact, a splatter of blood shoots from Mr. Park's mouth. The impact from the uppercut is so strong it sends Mr. Park rag-dolling through the air, so high all that can be seen is a speck of his body. What kind of stats do you have to have in order to survive these vicious-ass hits like this? Funny thing is that Mr. Park's last name is Air Ram. Kim Song-cheol sent him Air Ram so high that he is seen flying above the pine tree canopies of the forest. Well, what goes up must come down. Our quick science lesson for today. With a puff of dust, Mr. Park crashes back from orbit with a bang. We see his body all twisted up and mangled. But he's still alive because he lets out a moan. Body shaking, trying to get up as he whimpers from the pain. I imagine this is the same types of moans that he heard when he murdered that girl. We then get an aerial view of this dirt bag, struggling to get up as he is completely surrounded by the frenzied red blood slime. As he struggles to lift his head, he says, "Was it you? The one that made me like this? How dare you mere fucking slime do this to me? I'm not going to lie. This is bringing me so much satisfaction right now. I'm laughing my ass off." Kim Song-cheol pulls a Homer Simpson and disappears into some bushes and says, "Park Air Ram, I hope you become lethargic and die." We then see poor Mr. Park's foot is being blanketed by one of the blood slimes. Smoke rising as it eats away at his penny loafers. The pain is too much at this point, and we see Mr. Air Ram's face. Well, it was fun while it lasted because, in that moment of torment and pain, a magic circle appears above this dirt bag, as the red slimes continue to converge on his wicked soul. Just then a claw machine emerges from the magic circle with bright blue and white magic codes swirling around, descending down to rescue the piece of shit. A blue magic shoots out of the magic circle, blasting down to the ground. It seems that this light blue and white blast is nullifying the blood slime from battle by freezing them into ice chunks. With a flurry of snow, a woman, wearing a black robe with a cape, can be seen descending from above out of the magic circle, floating above the battered Mr. Park and the frozen solid blood slimes. "Wifey, is that you?" Purple flowing long hair and beautiful facial features. It is said that this is Dolorance Winterler. She is affiliated with the White Square, mid-ranked magicians. She says, "Oh, I can't believe I got to be put together with this idiot." Homer Simpson in the bushes says, "Isn't this that magician that was next to the Iron Blood Knightage? It seems like that person is Dolorance." Well, this girl wins for one of the coolest intros of a character that I've seen in a long time, as she now stands on the ground, looking super cool with that goth mage robe, black magic swishing through the air. I think she should definitely use this picture as her profile picture. She then says, "Abyss is freezing." Now she's just showing off. It's a bit of an overkill if you ask me. The magic spell casted creates a whirling tornado storm of ice, sweeping away any leftover blood slimes in an instant. I'm really digging the artistic directions the artist decided to take for this story, because this slide is gorgeous. I'm not just saying that because I want this ice mage as waifu. It is then shown that they've made a snowball of blood slimes swirling in the air. After all of that, we then become a peeping Tom as we watch Dolorance, who decided to take a blood slime shower, because after the charging of the blood slime snowball, the circulating mass explodes into a bloody fireworks display. How can our Homer Simpson not simp over our waifu after seeing all of that? He's just giving her a blank stare, unimpressed. Dolorance Winterler, based on the casting speed and the damage that she dealt. She is a mid-rank magician. To be fair, our boy Kim did the same thing, but quicker, with an equal-sized blood slime horde with just one single punch. She says, "Stop pretending to be dead. I can hear your bitch-ass breathing. Get up, dirtbag." Mr. Park says, "10 more minutes, mommy," as he lets out a long groan. This shitbag literally says, "Fuck, why did you take so long? Bitch, it hurts so much. I feel like dying. I'll tell my father to kick you out, you useless bitch." As she throws a magic potion onto the ground, she says, "Drink this. You're lucky that it ended with just pain." Face covered in the shadow. She then says, "Stop acting up. It won't be a good look for me if you die. You little pussy." Me? Die? I can't believe that they're going to save this maggot. I mean, look at this dude's face while he's drinking that potion. Why does he have to have his tongue out like that? She then says, you should increase your stamina with hidden quests. Oh, well, the dazzling display of ice magic didn't get a reaction out of our boy. But once he hears hidden quests, he starts salivating from the mouth. We now jump to a scenic mountain scene, where we can hear the echoes of Mr. Park squealing like a little pig. He says, fuck, you crazy fucking magician. Even if this is just training, how am I supposed to break this? Dolorance stands there unimpressed and unbothered. She says, I can hear everything you know. I'm saying everything so you can hear it. This is too fucking hard. Dolorance says, are you throwing a fuss like this even though you were almost eaten up by slime? He says, my remarkable father, whom I don't know the face of, put you with me in order to save me. She tells him that she will help him with everything else. But you have to at least get through this yourself. I cannot do this one for you. This quest, the trials of the Vestiaire. Hero Chill did it by himself. He then says, Hero Chill? What about him? The fat homunculus then says, Ki. He's a hero, so you must have the strength, you excellent human. You'll definitely see results tomorrow. Our boy Kim overhears everything. He now knows all about the hidden quests called the Trials of the Vestiaire. As he says, I caught something big. Our boy is on his way through the cave where Mr. Park was training and complaining. As he's walking, he takes a look at an arrow on the ground pointing in the direction he needs to go. Did it come all the way up here on its own will? He then says a Vestiaire mage. It was said that this mage has reached its peak. They say that an echo made a special guardhouse, so this has to be worth looking at. I wonder how the hero got the name of Book of Disaster. The portal asks, what dream do you want? And this is where he should say, I want women. But instead he says, quests, I want quests. I suppose I should pick the strongest thing, right? Oh, so you dare select Hero Chill's, Vestiaire's everlasting nightmare. Prepare yourself to taste death in endless darkness. Our boy was just like, okay. Was this quest made to give something to the successors? Which means that this was created during a time when there was still faith in humans. Hard mode, or hell mode. The hardest mode apparently includes a cross between jellyfish and octopus-like creatures. I smell blood. Faith towards humans, what a silly notion. From the smell of blood, there's a high possibility they used a sacrifice. This really big jellyfish attaches onto our boy like a VR headset in those fantasy game novels. The jellyfish then uses its red eye to dive deep into the soul of our main guy. But there's nothing there but hatred for the Demon King anyways. With a blast of red energy, our boy is now getting a perm done at the Jellyfish Beauty Salon. I think this is that look you get on your face when you just took a hit of that good, boom boom pow. This scene makes me laugh so hard. Look at our guy's pasty gray hand, like he hasn't gotten a tan ever. Holding onto his fancy cocktail with an umbrella, radio playing California Dreaming. I knew it. He lied to the portal. He said quests, but he was really thinking, I want bitches, all the women in the world, and put them in bikinis. Wasn't this quest called Endless Darkness? Well, I never want to wake up from this. See, I knew our boy wasn't lame. Look at him, he's chilling. On the beach, with like 8 hot mamas. He has music, he has a cold drink. He's good. Okay guys, that's it. That's the end of chapter 7. Until next time. Just kidding guys, there's more. 7 more to be exact. And they all say in unison, do you want to play with us? All eyes on our main man. I'm going to keep writing the script on this slide for a minute. Because I know we are not going to get this type of material probably for the rest of this story. Anybody that has any complaints can just take it up with human resources. Okay. If you could choose just one, which one would it be, boys? I'm liking the black hair girl in blue, on the back left. Okay, well moving on. He gets off his beach chair and says, oh, so you want to play, huh? I'll play with ya, as he reached behind the chair to pick up his big-ass golden hammer, releasing his concealment spell showing his ugly-ass demon-killing form, smiling like, this was the dream from the get-go. Man, no, why does our guy gotta be like this? Our boy is ruining everything by going hammer time mode on these hoes. Look at them now, red eyes, ugly as hell, shadow looming over their once beautiful faces. Can you all detect the disappointment in my AI voice? Glowing with golden energy, he cocks back his big-ass hammer and says, hey, what's with these expressions? It's because they wanted to play and you went whack-a-mole mode. God, I hate you right now. Are you disappointed that I turn out to be an old fart? Bam! Just like that, the jellyfish VR headset explodes off our guy. I don't know if this is a new VR headset or the same one, but this one is glowing with green and red bioluminescence. He flies over, within an instant, and puts his whole head into his mouth. Initiating game sequencing mode. Loading. What is this now? He's now suspended in the air with a chain link cuffs on each of his hands and legs. The praying mantis now coming, rushing at our boy. Making an Olympic caliber flip while suspended in air, he scores a perfect score of 10. Laughing can be heard. With a long chuckle, someone says Destroyer. It's the Demon King saying, "You cannot kill me." Demon King. Flipping his chains through the air like a weapon. Hog-tying the Demon King's face. The Chad then whips out his big-ass hammer again, and he uses it to smash his VR headset. I'm assuming he's not going to give this game a good review. IGN 2 out of 10. Little jellyfish can be seen surrounding the area like they usually do in the wilds. I have indomitable strength. In other words, that shit don't work on me. Squish, he smashes a little octopus. Mental attacks like that don't work. Wait a second, a light gray fog makes its way through the cave, brushing over our boy. This energy feels out of the ordinary. It states this is a memory fragment of Vestiaire. She says, "It killed all of my familiar spirits." That's not Vestiaire herself. That's just a fragment of her memory that she left behind. Being just a fragment, yet it holds this much magical power. Interesting. That's why they consider this a trial. Only those who overcome 32 pleasures and 27 planes can reap the rewards. I'm not sure where he pulled those numbers from. They kind of came out of nowhere. Hasn't everything been cleared already? I finished off everyone in the dream. All she has to say is, "What an interesting human. You're just a fragment, and you laugh. It seems like some will was left in you. You even figured out my identity. That makes me raise my expectations. Why would your identity be important?" As he whips out his hammer. When all else fails, it's hammer time. I always get the reward anyways, so who you are really doesn't matter to me. Okay, boy, you want this smoke. I'll give you the smoke. Brace yourself, boy. Here comes the smoke. Just then, Vestiaire creates a white magic circle underneath our guy. And then boom, a small nuclear bomb comes exploding from the spell. Must be a magic that restricts movement, as he stands there covered in semen. Now Vestiaire is sending a rotating cone-shaped fire attack at your boy. This one seems to be charging up to be more fierce, because out of the cone comes a huge fireball. As if mocking this girl, he breaks the semen binding off of him, leaving him squeaky clean, and says cheap tricks don't work on me. The fireball then makes contact with a bright orange and yellow blast. And through the smoke, our boy hits the Jumpman pose, tongue hanging out of his mouth, prepared to donkey punch this girl with his big-ass hammer. The ground explodes on contact, sending shards of rocks flying into the air. Vestiaire, with expert timing, hits the dodge roll button, blinking in the air behind our boy. She then casts another spell, fire radiating above her. Orange energy swirls around her, as she is dual-wielding her magic seals. Pew pew pew. She casts a big-ass fireball again. Our Chad, face glowing in the fire, says, "I said that shit won't work on me." Secret technique, Echo. She's now ready to scold our guy to death. Oh, so this is the Echo Weaver secret technique. How useful. With the double cast in play, there's now a barrage of fireballs followed by the echo waves of purple aura. The Chad, standing there, hammer in one hand, is prepared to receive her scolding spitting hot fire. Vestiaire, floating in the air as the impact leaves the entire area covered in an explosion of fire. But you aren't the only one that knows how to hit the dodge button, because our boy is now floating in the air with Vestiaire, hammer cocked back ready for hammer time. He then proceeds to beat the brakes off this girl, sending her flying through the air, crashing into a rock column before she crashes into the ground. Quit crying like a little baby bitch. This ain't enough to kill you. Now tell me, where is Hero Chill? After the dual cultivation session with our Chad, our girl's satisfaction shown on her face, says if you follow us, then Hero Chill will just appear in front of you, as the prophecy of doom will choose to. Our Chad then says, rule number 2, double tap, but not before she says, "You're the same as us." Stop being so cryptic, bitch. What do you mean by that? I can feel it. You have a much stronger disappointment and rage towards humans compared to us.